get the protection you deserve.
It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and Big G TV.
And this portion of the Coach's Show brought to you by Las Casas Feed Supply, locally owned and operated by Coy and Jennifer Young, specializing in animal feeds, premium pet foods, farm supplies, and more. Now, we've got Tony Rutland, the head coach of the Oakland Patriots here, and I think Las Casas Feed Supply is a very appropriate sponsor because they're right out there, right out by Oakland High School, just a little further.
Yeah.
Maybe toward Milton a little
There
bit.
it is,
But
there it is.
I'm been anxious to talk to you because we were at the district tournament and these games. You know, some will say, well, they don't. You're going to go to the region. They don't mean anything. But I think for you guys and I think it does mean something. And 9, I think, am I right? 9 straight.
That's correct.
And people had you buried, and you've had a terrific turnaround. And we're going to talk about how that happened. But I'm going to give first credit to you for sticking to your guns and some things, and it's got to be a thrill. And I know you got a big game tonight, a very talented Smyrna team. We'll get to that, but tell us about the turnaround and tell us how it's felt for your guys. I think
the big turnaround really, I think, was our concepts. I think Oakland has been predominantly like an offensive basketball program, and I think just coming from Laverne. And trying to advance to different stages in the playoffs, defense has to be the key.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always trying to find what type of defenses that we can get so our team can benefit on the offensive end.
Right.
And that took a lot of benching of certain players. And I give all my players credit because even when I did bench some of them could quit. Some of them could have just went in a hole. But a lot of them came out of it and they started believing in the process and they started buying in. And I think that's the biggest change for us is the kids really buying in to the point where our defense has to be our best part of our game.
The streak has helped with confidence, teamwork, some of the best defense. I like you say, they are really into defense now, which I don't think they may bought in early on that.
Right.
But here's an example. I actually don't do this often, but Josh Wiley was sitting in the stands the other night before the game, and I came up to him. I said, "Son, you're playing awesome." I said, "I just want to let you know that." And and usually they don't know how to react to that. The biggest smile came on his face and said, "Thank you, sir," and said, "I'm just happy I can do what I can do."
Yeah, I mean, for him, he has been in this run one of our best players to go. And, you know, in the beginning of the year, I told him, I said, listen, we won't win a game if you're my leading scorer because he does so much for us. He can rebound, he can pass the ball, play defense, and he can score. And that's what I meant by that. Like, I don't need you to be the leading scorer. I need you to, one, be a leader on the court. Give me everything that you got. And I get more on him. I even take him out of the game when I see him not smiling because in practice he's always got that big smile and he's playing well. But, you know, when he gets down on himself, he carries it into 2-3 different plays afterwards. And, you know, and it shows on the court for us as a team. And, you know, if you're going to be like that, I got to sit you down and put him back in. And then he starts to smile and then you see the game starts to change again. And I think that's the biggest change for him is he's not holding his emotions on his sleeves and he's letting that play go and he's going on to the next one.
Well, I have to admit that was not the reaction I thought I was going to get from him because an old man just coming up to you in a game and before a game and saying that. But he was so humble. I mean, just really a great attribute. And I want to talk about we know about Malik and how hot he's been and playing well. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the unsung heroes a little bit. Bass is, I think, played out of his mind, and he's just that little spark plug that gets you going.
Man, he's our glue. He's our MVP, honestly. And, you know, I told him that after the district tournament, you know, it's not about the points. I mean, I believe in the semifinals he had 7 points and 7 assists. And I told him we go as far as he takes us. If he's going to be slow, we're going to play slow. If he's going to be fast, if he's going to get us in the offense. And, you know, he's that guy that's I call him my gnats. Like, they're just everywhere. Like, defensively, they're just around you. You know, they're so quick. And he's the one that really has been holding us together. And it took him some time because he came off the football field. But, you know, he's starting to get more into the basketball aspect of it. And I told him this summer, I'm going to take him out if he doesn't shoot. He looked at me like he's never heard that before. Mm-hmm. And I was like, look, wherever your spots are, if you're not going to shoot it, I'm going to take you out. Yeah. And from then, his confidence has gone up. I mean, he's knocking down shots because if you play off of him, he can knock it down. He can get to the basket. He can pass it and create shots for others. And he's the one that's really getting us going. You know,
and Cobb has made a change in his game. He's more of a driver, a penetrator. I think he got where he was relying on the three all the time, but now he's taking it to the hoop a little bit, and I think that's really helped too.
Yeah, he's gained about 15 pounds of muscle. He's worked on his body, and he's strong now. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if he's not making shots, I want you to get to the free throw line. I tell all my shooters, you have to see the ball go in. And whether it's that get to the basket or, you know, get to the free throw line, he has to see the ball go in and his confidence will go up. And, you know, he's playing better, a lot better, stronger. And we're still waiting on that big game where he's going to give us 7 threes, 8 threes, because it can happen at any time. But for him, I think it's just seeing the ball go in.
You know, Malik, now we get to Malik here. The game the other night was Siegel. Yep. They did a really good job of you know, going with him and didn't get a lot of shots. It didn't frustrate him. I didn't think and then he hit a couple of big ones down the stretch. He just waited for his opportunity, and there it was.
Well, I think Siegel tried to play a boxing one on him, and they put like one of their taller physical players on him, and he started to get frustrated. But you know, he's coachable. Mm-hmm. I'm on him all the time, every day. If he thinks he's doing something right, I'm going to tell him it's wrong, but I'm going to teach him in the right way. And I told him during the Siegel, like, you don't have to score 20 points for us to win. You can be the decoy, set good screens, get other guys open. And once he started to do that, then it started opening up more shots for him. And, you know, he realizes he moves the ball, and I need him to get rebounds and steals and stuff like that. When he's doing that, man, he's going to be one of the top players in the state.
I think I want to mention one other guy, and his name, I forget it at this moment. I don't know why, but
Eli Bell.
Mm-hmm. That kid wants to win more than anybody I've ever seen. I mean, every play is like it's almost like his last one, and I think sometimes that's to his detriment a little bit. But he gets in some foul trouble some. But oh gosh, he loves the game. It looks like
Eli Bell is our energy guy.
Yeah.
He's playing out of position right now just because he's one of the tallest guys on our team. But you know, things will change next year. And what I love about him is he doesn't mind going and doing things that's going to be best for the team. But you know, he'll play the whole game and don't worry about scoring. He just wants to play defense and wants to rebound and do whatever. He can guard the 1 through 5. Yeah. And this summer, we're really going to get into him about his development. And he's not that far off, but he is our energy guy, and we really, really appreciate him.
Tony Rutland's our guest here on the Prentice Orthopedic Air Coach's Corner. Where do you think the turnaround came? I mean, and let's even disregard games coming up. I mean, where do you think the turnaround for your guys came? What was there a specific game that you say, okay, I think we may have gotten it?
Yeah, I think when we played Louisville Male over the Iverson Classic over Christmas break, we beat them, and they were the number 1 team in Kentucky, and they had guards, one of the top guards in the country. And we beat them, and it was our defense. It wasn't our offense. It was our defense that really, really got us going, and we started to figure out what our role was. After that, we played spurts. We didn't play like 4 quarters. And when we played Blackman and we lost to Blackman, I thought that was one of our best defensive games, although it wasn't our best offensive games. And then I think we turned around and played Rockville, I believe. Mm-hmm. That was 2 games that we lost that I felt like we could have won. And since then, I think we turned it around and we were able to put it both together on offense and defense. And we realized like that was the best way we needed to play.
I wanted to mention too that your bench has been pretty solid too, and some key minutes for some players, particularly when somebody gets in foul trouble. There's 2 or 3 of them that gives you that little added depth that maybe you didn't have at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and I think that comes from just playing a little bit throughout the year and crunch times because we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. And when I sat Josh down, I put somebody in, and that gave him more experience. So our bench is going to be there. They're always going to be ready. And, we'll see how it goes.
Got Smyrna tonight. That's a big test.
It's a tough test. I think, coming off a loss to Laverne, they're going to be hungry. Our guys know that. And we're never going to doubt them. And we know their skills. They got 2 great players, one a big that, I'm familiar with. So they got all the pieces. They got a guy that's shooting really well. That wasn't, his 6 threes, I believe, against Laverne. So we know them really well, so we're going to come out and be prepared.
Well, I would want to talk to you another 4 or 5 minutes, but the Grim Reaper's here telling me it's time to close up. But good luck tonight, Coach, and the rest of the way. Hope to see you next week. Yep. I guess we will. I hope
so. Yeah.
And I guess Smyrna's hoping that too, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
It's a do or die situation.
It is.
That's a big game. All right, Coach Rutland's been our guest here. This portion of the show brought to you by Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, family owned and operated since 1977. Get the best service with Prentice Allsup Heating and Air online at PrenticeAllsup.com.